Hey everyone, it's Sunday and today I am going to show you how to make marinated chicken leg quarters here and also Mexican rice. So for this meal, what you will need of course is marinated chicken leg quarters. So they come out different shapes and sizes like this. You will also need to use 2 of your areas on your stove, and you will also need this, which is caldo de tomate, basically like chicken flavor mixture that has a lot of the ingredients that you need that you would put in your rice. You will also need 2 cups of warm or hot water, because what you're going to do is mix 2 tablespoons of this in here once your rice is ready for us to put that in there. So what we're going to need, of course, are 2 pans, one for your chicken and one for your rice. So let's get that and let's start this video. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Alright, y'all, so we have our 2 pans here. We have the big one here that we are going to use, and we have this other one here that we are going to use. I'm going to go ahead and use the bigger one here for our rice. I'm going to put it right here so that I can show you how to get the rice started. Alright, so depending on how many people you have coming, or depending on how many people will be here, will determine how much rice you will need to use. Alright, so usually I get this size of a bag. I love to make rice, and I like to make enough to where whatever I'm making, for example, this is going to be good for dinner and good for leftovers for tomorrow's lunch. So I'm going to use half of the bag of rice because here at my home, everybody loves my rice. So they will eat rice here and then still want to eat rice for lunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in the pan. I'm going to just drizzle it down. You could put as much as oil as you like. I like to just put this much because I don't have to keep coming back and forth. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your stove on medium heat. Let this hit with the temperature, and then we'll go ahead and put our rice here shortly. Alright everyone, so while the heat tends to get hot, you want to make sure, and I do this sometimes even though I've made rice for a very long time, you want to make sure that you're not getting something that is just wet, because once you start moving the rice around to get it brown, you're going to put it in the oil and it's going to start popping. So you want to make sure that you do not do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the rice. Because I know that I'm going to use half of it, as you can see, there is a blue line here. Usually I just push against it like this and throw the rice in the pan. Just hold it and just get it out there. Okay? And that's enough. So you've already just used half of your bag. So you'll just put this up. If you can see, the rice is starting to hit with the heat. So you just want to kind of just mix it around just a little bit, not too much. Just want to mix it around just so that all of the layers of the rice is hitting with the heat. So you're just going to leave it like this. And what you're going to do is you're just going to keep an eye on it because it's going to start browning from the bottom and you don't want it to burn your rice. So just let it sit, move it around again another 10 seconds, let it sit and another 10 seconds. For about a minute. If you want a reminder, because I know sometimes we can forget, just put your timer for 1 minute and just go from there. Alright, so my timer is going off and I've just been mixing it every 10 seconds. But as you can tell, it's still not brown enough. You could tell it's cooking a little bit, but not all the way. So let's go ahead and give it 1 more minute. Remember, we'll mix it around every 10 seconds. So I'm put my timer for another 1 minute. If you want, you can turn up the heat. I'm going to turn mine up to number 6. This is actually the one right after medium, depending on how your stove is. So you can tell that it's already starting to cook up more. And so I'm going to go ahead and just mix it around. Then you can just layer it out this way. You definitely want to keep an eye, guys, on your rice. Rice can get burned easily. Once it does, well, your rice is already damaged, you have a smoky house, and then you have to start all over again. So just want to keep an eye on it. I know sometimes we don't like to be in front of the stove. Well, I do, but some people don't. So if you really just turn around and say you're going to just wash a cup right away, this rice in an instant can just turn brown. Start to burn. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and turn it again. All right. So we have our timer. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. And if you can see, it is starting to brown up a little bit here. That's what you want. So what you're going to do is, I make rice all the time, so I'm already used to this. But if this is your first time, I would take the pan off of the stove. And, well, let's do this first. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of this in my water. Okay. Once you put it in your water, you want to just go ahead and mix it together. This is what you're going to put in your rice. So you can leave your pan here in the meantime that you're doing this. And it gives your rice a little bit more time to brown. So now I'm going to go ahead and just mix it again. Now I'm ready to put it in there and put the water. As you can tell, it's already coming out brown. And you want to turn down your heat. So if this is your first time, I would recommend for you to move your pan off of this and pour your water and step back a little bit. All that steam and heat and water can definitely pop on you. So once you have done this, see how the water's in there mixed? All of this is seasoning. Some people like to use tomato sauce. Some people like to put onions and tomatoes in their rice. I used to, but once I came across this, there was no need to. So we're done with this. Remember, we like to put everything up once we're done with it. So this is good now. But what I like to do so that I don't have to keep coming back and forth is put 3 cups of water in here. And what I'm going to do, since I'm going to cook the chicken, is I'm going to move this to this side. Put this on this end here. And I'm going to get water. Alright, so we put the water in here. I put 3 more cups of water. It is going to cover up your rice, but you want it because you're going to be focused more on another dish here that you don't want to have to mess with this. So what we're going to do is you're going to get a lid and you're going to put it on here. My pan bent a while back, so my lid doesn't close all the way. Some people put foil paper. If you don't have a lid, it's okay, but I prefer just to put a lid. You don't have to close it all the way. You can leave just a little gap open because it's going to heat up and it's going to steam. It's going to start to boil. You don't want the rice to push your lid up. So if you do this and you leave it on medium and you just put your timer for 20 minutes. If you put your timer for 20 minutes, you know that your timer is going. You know your rice is cooking, but you're still doing this over here. All right, so for our chicken, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just get our chicken. It's already marinated, guys. You don't need no oil. Because with your chicken, you're going to have oil coming. You're going to have the grease coming from the chicken. But what I like to use is butter. Some people may not like it because they say it's too much fat. You shouldn't use butter like that. But again, this is your dish and you cook it how you want to cook it. So we have our chicken here. Alright, so I put just a little bit butter in here. Now that I have the butter in there, I can go ahead and pick up the chicken and just mix the butter around. Again, you don't have to put any seasoning on this if you don't want to. If you feel maybe that the marinated chicken is just not enough and you want seasoning, that's fine. So you're going to go ahead and just put this. We are going to add a little bit of salt. And we are going to add some basil. Okay. So with chicken, you don't want to turn it around so much. Just want to let it sit. But what you can do is poke a hole in part of the chicken so that when you are ready to flip it, you will be sure that it's cooking inside. Just a little hole's fine. You don't have to cut anything too big. So we're going to let this cook now. My rice is on the timer at, we have 17 minutes and 22 seconds. We are going to let the chicken cook for 8 minutes on each side. We'll come back and flip it and we'll check to see how it is. Since I have my microwave here next to me, I went ahead and put my, I went ahead and put my timer for 7 minutes. And I have a lid, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the chicken just so that all of the grease, well, all of the butter, grease, whatever comes from the chicken doesn't pop everywhere and make your stove very dirty. So we're going to put this chicken to the side here. And we're just going to wait for this to cook. Alright guys, so our timer just went up for the chicken. Before we look at that, if you can look at the rice here, how it's boiling. This is what you want. We have 9 minutes and 52 seconds left. What you can do is you can go ahead and turn it down to number 4, which is the one before medium. You want to keep an eye on it because you want to make sure that the water doesn't start, that the water doesn't drain fast, and then you come to your pot and you have dried rice. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to go ahead and turn down this chicken a little bit while I'm going to flip it. So we have the chicken going here. As you can see the basil here. All the seasoning. So I want to go ahead and just turn the chicken. Like that. So while you're turning that, remember we cut the hole in the piece of the chicken. So we're going to go ahead and turn this down and leave this at 4. Just because you can see here on the bottom, it's cooking really, really fast. If you want, and this is what I want to do, since it's already cooked on that end, as you can see here, this bone part, you can keep it in there if you want. And I'm just going to make another hole here on this side, just in the middle now that it's more tender, just so that it can cook a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and just put the chicken around, mix it around, just to kind of get the pieces, the burnt part of it that's on your pan. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and remember we turned this down to 4, and we're going to go ahead and cook this side for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put my timer on for 10 minutes. And here in 7 minutes, when my timer goes off for the rice, we'll come back to check that. Alright guys, so we have 3 minutes left on our rice. I'm going to go ahead and just switch this over here, just so that you guys can see how the rice is coming out. So with the rice, as you can tell that you are starting to be able to see the rice come over the juice. This means that the juice that's in there, it's already starting to drain. So what you want to do is you do not want to flip your rice, but you will need a spatula. And on your spatula, you're just going to put it in the middle and slide it up. Put it in the middle, slide it up. Put it in the middle and slide it up. The reason why you're doing this is because you want all of the juice to go in the middle so that the rice can absorb the juice and you don't have to keep putting water in there and it doesn't burn. You don't want to get the spatula and flip the rice because once you're done, then the rice will be so soggy. What you can also do is just push it back this way. And just let the rice observe the juice. So if you can see it, the rice is already starting to come out and it's looking very nice. So we still got a minute and 54 seconds left. So we're gonna go ahead and just leave this here for the meantime. Go ahead and switch it back. The only reason why I'm switching this so that you guys can see. Other than that, I would have just left it there. Okay, so now we're back to the chicken. As you can see, the chicken is cooking. There we go. So you can flip it around again if you like, just to let it cook a little bit more, maybe about 1 minute. These little bone pieces here, I don't need, so I'm just going to trash these. Okay. So since you know that this is going to have a little juice in it, what you'll want to do is you'll want to put this in a bowl. So that, I usually don't use this bowl because this is my garbage bowl, but I don't have one right now in front of me. So you're just going to put the chicken in this, which will have the drainer, so that while you're cooking the other chicken, it drains it out. Drains out the grease. So now you can put this to the side. Put a plate over this. So you're going to do it like this, a plastic plate or whatever kind of plate, just so that the chicken can stay warm. Now that you have this, you'll have all of the leftovers of the chicken. And you just want to kind of just scoop the pieces of the chicken, like the leftover chicken, to the end. Oh, there goes my timer for my rice. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off for right now. And what we're going to do here is, I'm just going to get this little lid here. And I'm going to get this here and just put it on the lid. Because if I put my other chicken on there, it's gonna burn and it's not gonna taste good because you have all of this that came off of the old chicken. You can leave whatever grease or leftover of the butter in there, that's fine. So now that we have that, now we're gonna go ahead and add our other pieces of chicken here. Remember, you have your stove on, so stand back a little bit. Okay, you just want to lay it down to where you'll know that it'll cook. Okay. So now you'll put your stuff that you don't need, like your spoon. You can put this in here in the meantime, since this is like your trash area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and season this chicken. I'm going to put some salt. We didn't put any pepper the last time. That's because I'm using the basil, and the basil is going to give it that flavor that the pepper gives it. You just want to put it around over it. Since we are focusing on the rice as well, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on here. And I'm going to put the timer for 10 minutes because this is how long we're going to cook it on this side. And this one with the rice, I already have it at 4, so that's good. So now we're just going to move this here. Let this cook and bring the rice over. Again, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't recording it, but so that you guys can see a better view of it, that's what I'm doing. So now as you can see, the rice looks like it's going to need a little bit more water. Okay. So I washed my spatula. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to put the spatula in the middle. And I'm just going to let the juice come in the middle to observe. It's not going to need no more water, guys. So 2 cups of water. It was a total of 3 cups of water that I put after we put the 2 cups of water from the seasoning. Okay, so this is not going to need no more water, guys. What you're going to do now is you're going to take this off of the heat. You're going to turn off your stove and take this off of the heat, and you're going to just let it sit so that the rice can absorb the water. And that is it on the rice. And we'll show you how the rice looks once the chicken is done. Let me bring the chicken back over here. Okay. So now we're just going to wait for this chicken to finish. Once this chicken's done, we're going to turn it around. And then we'll be done with this part. Alright, y'all. So while we're doing this, the rice is not going to take long for it to simmer. Well, for it to absorb all of the juice. So what we're going to do is now, with rice and chicken, usually we like to eat homemade tortillas or just regular tortillas, however you decide. We go to a store at times and I don't want to make them, and we'll buy just some that are already made. But you still have to cook it on the comal or the tortilla pan. So while this is going, we have this on. We're going to go ahead and turn this up on 6 because we just want these to heat up right away. So we're going to heat these up. Alright, guys, so now we have our plate done. We have our chicken here. And we have our rice. So the rice came out nice. You had a little juice in it. Then you also warmed up some tortillas. And all you'll do to complete this plate is voila. So there you go. You have your chicken, your rice, and your tortillas. And of course, you guys know I need my Louisiana hot sauce. So this is it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you want me to cook next. Have a great night.